What's up, guys? So it was a long day yesterday hauling the family around in this 2019 Toyota Sienna, and I've got to return this Toro rental in 1 hour this morning. So this is just going to be a quick video talking about the top 3 things I like and dislike about this Toyota Sienna compared to the other 3-row SUVs and minivans I've driven in the past 6 months. Okay, so the first thing I love about this Toyota Sienna, and this is a really big one, is how well it drives after 5 years and 88,000 miles. It's almost like a new car. Recently, I also rented a 2015 Town & Country, so even though it was 4 years older, it had about the same mileage, and that thing just felt like it was already almost on its last legs. This Toyota feels like it's just being broken in. No squeaks or rattles. The suspension still feels tight. Everything in the interior, all the controls. Even though the quality doesn't necessarily feel the best, it's not worn out and it's not broken. That's in contrast to the Town & Country. It had some weird quirks on the interior, like the rear view mirror was already getting loose, which was an annoying thing, and the idle was rough, and the suspension was squeaky and a little bouncy. In contrast, this Toyota feels like something I could drive around my family in for another 10 years and 100,000 miles. Now let's talk about the top thing I dislike about this 2019 Toyota Sienna, and that is a lack of Android Auto or Apple CarPlay in this car. So Toyota was one of the last manufacturers to switch to adapting Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and it really shows in this 2019 model. It just feels a lot more outdated, lacking this feature that a lot of competitors already had in 2019. Makes this car feel like a 2015 or 2016 with the infotainment system that it has. Now the new Toyotas, they do have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, no problem. I think it was 2020 before they even started introducing these on any Toyota models. So it's going to be something lacking for your 2019 model year and below. And in my opinion, that is like a deal breaker in the used car market. It would stop me from buying this 2019 Toyota Sienna. Okay, so final thing I don't like about the 2019 Toyota Sienna, and that is that despite having a tried and true 3.5 liter V6, which I overall like, maybe I'm old school, the driving feel, the acceleration you feel doesn't make it feel like you have a V6. It's just so heavily tuned for eco, to the extent that if you just add throttle, it's just so hard to get that acceleration. And I find myself constantly, when I was on the highway, looking to squeeze the throttle a little bit to get some passing power, and that power just not being there, not being able to get that a little bit more unless I really floor the throttle, in which case then van downshifts like crazy and makes a lot of sound, and it does accelerate forward, but it just doesn't have that smooth, torquey feel that I expect from a V6. And note that this isn't a lack of power, it's just the way that Toyota's tuned the throttle in the Sienna. Alright, the next thing I love about this 2019 Toyota Sienna is the interior space and car seat configurations available. Now here we have my 3-year-old's Nuna Rava and my 8-month-old Chico Keyfit 30 mounted on the 2nd row, and still lots of space back here in the 3rd row for 2 adults. I'm 5'10", lots of room here in the 3rd row, pretty comfortable seat. Look at the height of this seat. And also here in the 3rd row we have the latch anchors in 2 positions, although not 3. So if you use this one, it'll take up kind of two of the seats. Still, you can fit 2 positions for infant car seats in the back, and also 2 positions back here for the tethers, the top tethers for a front-facing car seat. So I know this may not sound like a big deal in 2023, but I note the Chrysler Town & Country does not have the flexibility to mount the front-facing car seats in the third row. And I was surprised that a lot of three-row SUVs also don't give you that flexibility in the third row, or the third row is just too cramped to practically fit anything back there. But the Sienna definitely gives you that flexibility. And second row, lots of room here, very comfortable captain's chair. Also, we have to note the space we have here in the back with the third row up. Really beats out against pretty much all mid-size three-row SUVs having this minivan, deep and long. Now there is one thing I dislike about the seating configurations compared to other minivans, and that is that the second row is not removable or able to fold into the floor. So you can see this is kind of all you can do for folding up the second row seat. And it does give you a decent amount of space back here, but imagine if you could remove this or fold that into the floor like the Chrysler Town & Country Stow & Go seats, which they've had for like 15 years. I guess they've got that patented probably, so Toyota can't do that. But I think for the practicality of using this to haul around cargo, you still have a lot of space, but you're really losing out there with having to have this seat like this. So for passenger space, this Sienna is really good, but compared to the other minivans for hauling around cargo, I think this could be a deal breaker. So that's it for this video, the things I like and dislike about the third generation Toyota Sienna. I've got to rush to the gas station to fill this thing up and return it, but hope you like this video. And if you want to see more comparisons to other three-row SUVs and minivans, post a comment below and I'll see you in the next video.